So, someone is heading towards Egghead? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to One Piece, episode 1140. And yeah, it said last time that the civilian ship that had left Egghead was like going to be attacked and stopped by the government, the Marines, because it's like they're doing the Buster Call and everything, so they're making sure that they don't escape either because, you know, the world government's fucking disgusting. But the ship was saved, and we saw the Marine ship had been destroyed instead, the battleship. And they said that they were heading towards Egghead. That's all they said. It was like they. Who is they? Is it the ship? Because that's what it made it sound like, right? That it was going to be the passenger ship itself. But why would they have turned around, and why would they be heading back? Do they want to, like, save Vegapunk? Because, I mean, I could maybe believe that. Vegapunk seems like he would be the kind of guy that everyone would kind of love. So, would they... But how would they have destroyed the battleship? Unless there's, like, some kind of secret badass amongst them. I don't know. But then again, it's like, if someone else came and helped them, is that person then coming to Egghead? I don't know. I guess we'll have to watch and find out. We also got a new opening last episode, which I just was very surprised by. I did not know that was happening. And it's good. It's good. I've watched it multiple times since then, and I do really enjoy it. It's not my favorite opening by any means. And it's very different than a lot of other openings in terms of the music especially. But it's good. I have not gone through the opening visuals and tried to overanalyze that because I feel like I don't want to. I'm just trying to enjoy it for what it is, because if I start overanalyzing the visuals, who knows what's going to happen. I'll probably figure out too much. The thing with the visuals that I did see before, though, is that they seem to be like a mix of things that have happened in the past, a mix of things that are happening, a mix of things that are going to happen. Which makes sense, but it's showing like a lot of stuff that's not really super relevant right now. At least not from what we can tell. Like, it's showing a lot of characters and locations that we've just already been to. Like Wano and Fishman Island and whatnot. A lot of characters we've seen already by this point throughout the series. Like for example, it shows like Yamato and Ace when they were, you know, having that all night chat and everything together, just hanging out and being besties, or, you know, as some of us like to headcanon, more than friends. But yeah, it just shows a lot, and it's hard to tell what is or isn't going to actually be part of the rest of this arc. Because I assume this is the final opening for Egghead. There can't be that much left, can there? I guess we're just gonna have to see. Again, we're gonna be watching the opening again here, but I'm not gonna overanalyze it. I'm not gonna like look through it too much. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. If there's subtitles, I might try to start singing along with this one like I've done with other openings. Just, you know, have a good time. But let us get into this and see what this episode has in store for us. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. We're getting spoiled. Like, fuck, we're getting spoiled. Like, in the same episode, we get Bonnie finding out that not only can she control the pacifistas, that she has the ultimate say over them, but we also find out, or she also finds out, that Luffy is Nika, the reincarnation of the sun god that she's wanted to meet her entire life. And then on top of that, we get the arrival of the giant warrior pirates led by the duo captains Broggy and Dory. And it's just like, fuck, Oda, you know what we like. Like, seriously. We just got the trailer, the first trailer for season 2 of the live action. And one of the big moments of it, pun intended, was the reveal of Broggy. The giants were always something that people wondered how it was going to be done in live action. And now we see. It's camera effects, fancy editing, all of that, obviously. It was always going to be that. But it looks so good, and the actor playing Broggy looks so good. And it's just like, I can't wait to see Dory as well. And we've seen Broggy and Dory again in the anime. Like, we saw them with Shanks. But, like, getting to see them coming here to Egghead, that they were the ones who saved the passenger ship, that they're coming here to save Luffy, and they know he's Nika already. It's just like, oh, that's so good. Did Shanks tell them? Because I 100% believe Shanks knows. Shanks 100% knows, like, knew what the devil fruit actually was. He always knew it wasn't the gum fruit. He always knew it was the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika. I am 100% believing that. But he, like, to Luffy, he called it the gum fruit for, I feel like obvious reasons. It was he was a kid at the time, so. And so that's all Luffy knew it as growing up. And I'm sure Shanks knew that was also the cover that the, birds? Just a huge flock of birds just flew by. It's like, what the hell? But I'm sure he knew that's what the world government was calling it. Because I think it showed during Wano a flashback to when, like, Shanks first took the fruit from Who's Who's ship. And I believe Who's Who and them were calling it the gum fruit. And we're wondering why, Shanks of all people would be going after it. Of all the fruits to go after. So, yeah. But I think that Shanks probably told Dory and Broggy, and that might be at least part of the reason why they're going there. But they'd also go there just because they like Luffy. Because he's a friend. So, this is going to be so good. So they're shown in the opening a couple times. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be literal. Because, again, this opening shows a lot of flashbacks. It shows a lot of, like, characters and locations from the past. I didn't know how much of this was shown that was going to be, like, literal in regards to, like, oh, this is actually going to be happening, or this is just like a cool visual. Just to show kind of like all these different eras of Luffy and the crew's journey. But apparently the new giant, or not the new giant, the giant warrior pirates, blah, being involved in this is very literal. I don't know if anyone else is here besides Dory and Broggy. We've only seen them so far. But even if it's just them, it's like, that's enough. Dory and Broggy are definitely still on a different level than, like, I think most we've seen. I do think Saturn is a higher level than them, but I would put them up there with the likes of the Admirals. I genuinely think Dory and Broggy are about the level of the Admirals. Especially at this point. Because it's like, the only reason Mr. 3 was able to trick them is because they were already exhausted from a fight. Dory was weakened because of the explosion, the bomb in the in the booze, and Broggy was just caught entirely off guard. Mr. Three, his entire thing has always been his intellect and his trickery, and so that's the only reason he got the one up on them in the day. But again, they've also been fighting for so long, so it's like, yeah, they're exceptionally strong, but they were also at the moment tired and weakened. So it makes sense. And even then, like, Mr. Three still had to drive spikes through like Broggy's hands and stuff just to be able to keep him pinned to the ground. Not just like holding him down with the wax in general. That wasn't enough. But now that they have left Little Garden and everything, they're able to they've probably been able to like actually train and get even stronger um outside of just their, standard constant even fights, because during their fights on Little Garden they probably weren't like actually improving that much, because one, their weapons were, dulled to shit, and two, they were facing like an equal enemy the entire time. They're on the same level as each other, and they fought each other to equal standing over and over and over again, all these draws. Neither of them ever won until the very end, until during that arc, and that was again because of interference. So it's like they weren't actually improving on anything. In fact, you could almost say that they were not doing as well as when they first started. They're because of their weapons weakening and them, getting more tired as it went on, and even forgetting why they were fighting in the first place. They weren't at their best during that arc. But now we're getting to see them at their best, and even further than what they were back then. So that's going to be exciting. It's going to be very hyped to see everything that they can do here. But I'm really excited to see more of like Bonnie, like kind of coming, not only just realizing, but like siding more and more with Luffy because of this. Because again, like, obviously Nika was who she and her father had been waiting for and hoping for this entire time. Like, Kuma's family growing up, like, basically worshipped Nika. That's what their church was about and what their beliefs were all about. So now Kuma's like barely hanging on. He can't really like react to what's going on, but Bonnie is like able to fully appreciate all of this, and it brings her to tears because this is so important to her. And it's one of those situations where this is going to like make her like a permanent ally to the Straw Hats. Because how could she not be? We've had other members of the Worst Generation and all team up with Luffy here and there, but it's always been temporary. We've also had members of the Worst Generation face off against Luffy and his allies. But we've never had like a permanent ally come from that. Outside of, I guess, Zoro, because he's in the Worst Generation too. But I mean, he was with Luffy before that, so. But like even Law. Like Law was with him as an ally for a long time. But even then, it ended after Kaido was defeated. Their allyship ended. And it was always going to. Kid was an ally during the raid on Onigashima. But that was mostly because of like, mutual goal. And that also, again, ended after the battle. And I guess the same goes for Killer. Because Killer was, with Kid. So. But now Bonnie is going to be like a permanent ally to the Straw Hats. I don't know if that means she's going to travel with them permanently. I mean, I would be okay with that. I would be extremely okay with that. But it at the very least means that she will always be on their side. That will never change and that will never end. Meaning that she will absolutely be fighting alongside them in any, like, in the future war that's going to come. And with her power being so potentially OP, that's going to be a really useful ally. She just needs to learn how to like use it to its full potential. So, I'm very excited to see what comes of this. Um we see Kizaru start to fight and everything here, but he's taken out by Luffy. We see the pacifistas turn on the Marines. The Buster Call's kind of failing, ironically. And it's like, yeah, it's just everything's kind of like turning around. We've had Saturn and the world government and Marines and all of them kind of taking control for a bit now. But between Bonnie being able to control the pacifistas, having the highest control over them, the giant warrior pirate. I keep trying to say the new giant pirates. That's Hajrudine or Hyrudine, however it's pronounced. But the giant warrior pirates coming in, Luffy being back in action. This completely changes things. This completely changes the flow of this battle back in the favor of our heroes. Because it's kind of been a bit back and forth. But like once Saturn really came into play, it's like their side, the bad side, kind of took over the controls. And now it's just kind of flipping back. So I definitely think we're heading into the kind of last parts of this arc. I definitely think that we're gonna be this is gonna be the climax. This is gonna be like the final hurrah. So what's interesting to me then is if a lot more in the opening is literal, then what we see of like everyone seeing Vegapunk talking on like camera, he's gonna have one last message to send, probably to the entire world. And that's why we see all these different locations. But we also see one of the other Gorosei. Nusjuro, I think was his name. Something like that. The bald guy. So is he going to come into play too? Is he going to end up coming to Egghead? And we'll have to deal with two Gorosei at once? Because that dealing with one Gorosei is practically impossible. How are we going to deal with two? Even with the power of Nika, it's like, I don't know. I just don't see that being, like, enough, right? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but that just seems like a very tall order. I don't know. And obviously, do not spoil me. I feel like I shouldn't need to always say this every time, but I do, just in case. Do not spoil me. I am going into this blind, as blind as possible, considering the One Piece fandom likes to spoil shit. I do know some things going forward, but not everything. And I don't know context for anything. So just to be safe, do not spoil anything in the in the comments below. I want to remain spoiler free because it makes for better reactions, I feel. So no spoilers as to what's to come. If any thoughts or theories I ever have end up being right or wrong, do not tell me. I want to be able to experience this like as it goes, you know? So that all being said, tell me your thoughts on this episode down in the comments below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.